years.
So you told me about this situation with OT and DDG and you at a party. You basically said what? That you guys went into a room and he was snooping around in a random room? What happened?
This is what everything, and I told this story yesterday, but basically the situation happened. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I'm just now starting at No Jumper, and they're talking about him.
I remember
and I'm
having to tell you.
I'm like, that's the nigga.
Oh, you recognized him on like
Adam and him talking. I'm like, that's the nigga.
Because we had just had a little thing with him because basically like when he was dating Ruby Rose, we said something about, she had posted something that basically made it sound like she didn't want to fuck with him anymore. And we said something on the podcast that pissed him off about like, oh, she don't want to fuck with a YouTuber. She want to fuck with a real rapper. And he took offense to it. And that was kind of like,
I remember that.
I haven't talked to him since then.
But he dissed No Jumper, right?
You know, within reason.
Yeah.
He was basically just like, fuck y'all, that's whack, whatever. I mean, we should probably talk about it one day, but like neither of us feels like fucking hitting the other one up. But like AD, I'm having to tell him like, no, he's like a rapper and a YouTuber and he's kind of lit at both.
And this is after the Blueface song, right?
No,
before. But so then AD is like basically explaining the situation.
But at the time, I'm like, don't put the nigga name out there because nigga, I'm like, y'all thought I was political now. Nigga, I was real political back then. I'm like, nigga, I ain't putting the nigga name out there.
But so what'd you do? You went into a room and you thought he was what, like stealing or some shit?
I mean, long story short.
Tell the whole story.
Again?
No, like because there's certain details that you omitted as far as like.
Okay, so I mean, long story short, this is OT's birthday. This is during quarantine. You know what I mean? We're at his house, and he has his birthday party. And if you see like, you know, I think it's still on his page. He has a suit on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was there. A lot of celebs in the room. Everybody turned up. All our homies from all the neighborhoods is all there. Like there's a lot of people there. Like all our loved ones and shit. And we had security guards there. So security was supposed to, you know what I'm saying, make sure nobody went in the rooms. There's like 2 entrances that security guards are supposed to be. So nobody was supposed to be behind anything. You know what I'm saying? So while you know how niggas is, you know, I've been to little Hollywood parties before and was like, oh, it's a room, let me try to knock a bitch down, whatever situation. Niggas are gonna try to do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we, you know, a girl come out and she tell OT like, hey, there's somebody in your room. You know what I'm saying? So nigga, we all load up like, nigga, what the fuck? Because as y'all know, in Hollywood, niggas be robbing niggas at their houses and shit. You know what I'm saying? People be doing all type of weirdo shit. So we on point like, nigga, who in the fucking room? So it wasn't even like on no bully type shit. It was trying to see like, hey, what are you doing in the master bedroom? And it's like there's way before you get to the master bedroom, there's 3 or 4 other rooms in the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we go in the master bedroom, everybody like, nigga, like, what's up with you? You know what I mean? And mind you, everybody drunk, everybody turned up, nigga. We got all the homies and shit with us, you feel me? And him and OT, you know what I'm saying? They saying shit back and forth and, you know what I mean? And then the situation happened. And it wasn't like, nigga, nobody jumped him. Nigga, nobody put hands on him. It was one hit and that was it. Yeah, that was it. After the shit, bro, nigga, he left with all this jewelry, nigga. Niggas made sure shit was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and nigga, we got homies that's grimy, bro. Like, niggas want to take shit and do all type of extra shit. Niggas could have did that. You don't get no points for that.
And by the way, this is what you said 2.5 years ago. This
is OT's birthday is June 18th. This was June 18th or June 19th, 2020.
So the reason why I bring that up is because there's this false narrative going around that he was a 19-year-old kid, quote unquote, when this happened. If he's 25 now, that would make him 22, 23 at the time.
Right.
So
that definitely wasn't.
That's a big
that definitely wasn't.
Which, by the way, you a grown ass man at 19, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
So for anybody who says I can't keep a secret, I've been sitting on that story for 3 years.
He has a lot of secrets. But the part of the reason why I told, you know, Adam to keep the shit a secret, because I'm like, nigga, we not gonna be on no messy shit. And I start seeing what he was doing. I'm like, hey, I salute him as a black man. Like, he doing this thing. He a black YouTuber. Like, you a black YouTuber too, but you know. Sure. I'm sitting there watching him. I'm like, all right, he doing this thing. The moonwalking song come out. I'm fucking with it and shit. And behind the scenes, it was like a lot of times where, you know, my name would get brought up and then he'll be like, oh, like, basically like, not on no beef type shit, but be like, like, you know, I don't fuck with him kind of like that.
Yeah.
And this been like, it's been situations where they're like, oh, hey, what's it called? Is having this album release party. I ain't no fake nigga. I ain't about to go to your album release party and you feel me pop up on you like that. We gotta at least have a conversation before, you know what I'm saying? We move accordingly because, you know, some certain street niggas, you know what I'm saying, was contacted by him and they telling us stuff and we like, oh, niggas is politicking for sure,
So how did it come to the surface a few days ago?
Because OT ain't never came on the community before. Right. I was holding it. I'm like, all right, bro, when bro come, you know what I'm saying? Because if you know me, you know, like, all right, that's probably gonna be the first guest. I'm like, nah, let's get this shit going. Let me get legs with this shit first. Let bro come over and do his shit. So when he came over, you feel me? Everybody turned up, everybody having a good time, and we got on the conversation about fighting. But the whole time, the chat was spamming the shit.
Because they kind of knew?
Well, okay, this is how
it's been like rumored a little bit.
This is how everybody knew, and they started trying to put 2 and 2 together. So once the shit happened, DDG said he got jumped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the word. So the next day, everybody's telling us like, y'all jumped him. Y'all jumped him. We like, nigga, nobody jumped the nigga.
Because they knew he was at the party.
They knew what happened.
Fans are so fucking smart.
But he said that he got jumped. So the word was, you know, I got jumped at OT's party, and then we like, nah, nigga, you ain't get jumped.
You got one hitter quitter.
You got one hit it. And then OT, he kind of got mad about that, and it's a video where he like, hey, D, niggas talking about I jumped him, and it's like, is that true? And I'm like, nah, nigga, it was just one hit. You know what I'm saying? And once that happened, he made a DDG made another video, and he broke down the whole situation, but he honestly thought that he got jumped. You know what I'm saying?
He just got hit though.
He just got hit. So
but
it wasn't.
If you just come to on the ground and you remember there being 4 guys in the room, I can kind of like.
Nigga, he said.
You probably really didn't know what happened.
He
right?
said it's 10 niggas. So like, you got to think about it. If 10 of us are jumping DDG,
he's dead.
He's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't get no points for doing all that extra shit. We wasn't on no bully shit. Nobody in the room knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't know who he was. Adam could tell you that I didn't know who he was. OT didn't know who he was. He was just drunk as fuck. He made a mistake. And it ain't even like, it wasn't even nothing crazy like that. But once OT, you know what I'm saying, back then, people had, it was a video. And they started putting 2 and 2 together. They were like, oh, he was at that party. And this happened over there.
Because none of y'all are mentioning names.
Nobody's mentioning names. So the video came out, and then people are putting 2 and 2 together. And then Adam, you know, he didn't say his name, but he called me. They called me on a No Jumper show, him and Cam Girl and oh my bad, Redacted Girl and House Phone. And they're like, hey, AD, what did you see and what happened? And I'm breaking down the situation, but we're not never saying the name. So people are really, and this is like right after he dissed them. So everybody is like, oh shit, they putting 2 and 2 together. So that was what, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. OT comes on my stream and we're talking about fights and shit that we have. And OT says, yeah, man, you know, we done did a lot of woo. And we just talking, but the chat, they spamming. Pop, 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 pop. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And as you see, even like yesterday, I'm like, all right, I ain't trying to bring this shit up because I don't want the nigga to look bad. Pun is there. You feel me?
Was it one of them situations where you see the chat, but you keep trying to throw like certain conversation topics out there, just ignore it?
We got to do it all the time.
It's like DDG. I'm like, man, I was at Starbucks today, and I seen a light. And you just looking around for shit to talk about.
Because if you generally ignore the chat, then you can ignore it. But if you're like reading the chat most of the time and then you just start ignoring this topic, it's like very awkward.
It's like, bro, we know you see what you
know you see. And when I say they're spamming it, and I'm sitting there like, and like I know how to like, you know, take the chat and just blank out and be like, all right, let me just get my shit off and shit like that. On one end, I'm like, I don't want to bring this shit up and make the nigga look bad. You feel me? Because he doing his thing. Like, nigga ain't on no hating shit. You feel me? On the other end, these motherfuckers is doing this. So when they, you know what I'm saying, they seeing what's going on right there and bro starts talking about a situation, then nigga, one of our homies brought his name up and I'm just sitting there like, here we go now. You know what I'm saying? And then Pun get to doing his shit. And then OT broke down the situation.